Hello and welcome to another episode of VBA Live, where we bring you the latest and greatest in the world of the VBA. Want to relive a game of the week? Forgot a great tip that was dropped or missed a free agent find player ID? Well, you can remember all of that by subscribing to our podcast at anchor.fm/VBA-live. Big shout out to our listeners in Australia, Vietnam, and Latvia. It's Wednesday night. It's 8 p.m. I'm MJ. He's Prospect, and this is episode 9 of VBA Live. Prospect, how you doing tonight, man?
God, the intro gets better and better every week. You just escalated. It gets better and better. I'm doing good. Got some nice weather here. My team had a good week last week, and I guess now we have listeners in Australia, so that's cool.
Yeah, right. Hey, Jason Wright, how you doing? Fud Guru in the house tonight. How's everyone else doing? Chad, how are you doing tonight? I'd love to know. My week last week did not end great, but that's my own doing. Sure. Because I bought 2 unplayed players. One was a small forward, power forward, 3-and-D wing, which I'm actually really excited about, underdog. And then the second one was a special center, fundamental big, I believe.
Okay.
And just kind of threw them in at the end of the week. I wanted to see how they do, and ended up with just some crazy scores, some really low scores. Ended up losing a handful of games, but got my data points and was able to hold on to stay in the competitive league. So I was super happy about that. So it all ended well.
And with that point reset, you were above the reset point, right? So you're still in competitive.
Correct. Yep.
Right. Love it. That's exciting.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Last week, we had the big All-Star week.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in before and during the flight.
Yeah, I was like sitting on the plane, like watching on my phone, and the stewardess or flight attendant was like, turn your phone on airplane mode. And I was like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. I was like rushing to watch it. It was good though. It was fun to watch.
Absolutely wild games. Big shout out and thank you to Charles and Smup for joining last week. Some great analysis. Yeah. If you missed it, that episode just went live today on the podcast. We have both the audio and video. Absolute blast. Great time. Can't wait to have them back on the pod in the future. But yeah, All-Star week, both showcase games, so much fun. I think the VBA team did a really nice job of getting the community involved. I love the whole voting process. And you had a player make it as an honorary All-Star, correct?
I did. Our team didn't win. But it was still fun to watch and root for the team.
Yeah.
And I get a crew neck because of it.
Let's go. I'm getting one too.
Nice. There we go.
I think for like hosting, I'm not totally sure, but I got a little distracted there. We've got a viewer right now from St. Kitts. We're blowing up internationally right now. This is insane.
I love it. That's incredible.
So let's jump in. Let's start off with the tip off tonight. We're gonna go right in to the board because a ton of news has dropped this week.
So many updates, yeah.
So living the island life.
Right after the season half point, for them to release all these updates, which I don't think they actually mentioned it in this article, but there were some slight updates to the like visuals on the site too.
Yeah, and I can't wait to go over those. I think they're really cool. It makes it a little more immersive. Definitely. But yeah, Chet, this is going to be a very exciting episode because we have another very big announcement after we get through these news updates. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. I'm super, super excited for what we're going to show you after the fact. All right. So let's dive into these updates. So we are at the second half of the season of season 0. So the first thing on here is, I want to say they named this after you, but prospect players. So, prospect players, basically anyone who has a VBA team, which you can create an account for free with an email. You don't need a crypto wallet. You can get a pack of 6 VBA players. These are prospects. On average, they're going to perform a little worse than underdogs. They are
Right.
not NFTs, and they will not earn dimes rewards. So, in order to earn dimes rewards, you will need the NFTs, but this allows you to experience VBA completely for free. You can get in and play games. If you do well, you'll move up in the leagues, the different competitions. What are your thoughts on this prospect?
Yeah, first of all, if some FUD guru in chat was saying my volume's low, I turned it up on my end. If anybody in chat, if I'm coming in a little low, just let us know and we'll adjust. Um, this was such a cool like surprise update. Um, and I think it was executed so smart, and it's the implementation is just, I got some dog hair in my mouth. Sorry. I'm living with a German Shepherd. Yeah, it's great. I like that they're non-transferable. I
Very good
like
point.
that, it's free. Obviously, you can sign up and make a team and see if you like it. I like that it says on average they will fall in skill below underdogs, as they should. Um, but that also the language there says on average, and I'm curious if any of the big teams have played prospects, and after a few weeks, if we'll see any that are like crushing it. So that'll be interesting. But I also think it's important that the reward system is tiered based on the amount of prospects that you play. I am curious because the example in there, it says like one NFT player and 4 prospects. It says every game.
Mhm.
So I'm curious, like, will it affect you if you try one prospect in one game of an entire week? Will they take off like a single dime or something? I'm curious about that. But yeah, the implementation is great, and I think hopefully we'll get a lot more new players because of this. That will hopefully uh, translate into people who are buying, regular players.
I love it. Yeah, it'd be really. I think the dream is to get involved, win a few games, get excited, and then eventually buy and start to get those dimes rewards. And I wonder, like you bring a really good point about if you play one game with an NFT player. So I wonder if it's like number of games played times 5,
Yeah.
and then looking at of that number, what percent of those were NFT players.
Right. Is there going to be do they have some sort of, literal like calculation for it? I'm sure they do, but we shall see.
Next big announcement is releasing more Season 0 players. There will be an additional 14,000 players coming out. I really like that they're addressing here in this update that they recognize the feedback from the GMs to expand rosters, and that the market is kind of tough.
Yeah.
And so, how the sales are going to work? First batch will cost 1.5 Sol each in the box office. Players can also be obtained using dimes and drawings, and the future room may offer direct purchases with dimes. These players will be revealed immediately upon purchase, following the same rarity distribution as our initial mint, which is outlined here. 55% underdog, 34% special, 7% rare, 3% elite, and 1% legendary. Thoughts on this prospect?
Um, First of all, my first thought is the market right now is not good in terms of skill level out there, right? Like I was looking at what's listed, um, and like there's not a lot of like hardcore talent out there right now, if for value buys at least. Um, I was looking earlier, and I don't even think there's not a single like pass first guard listed right now.
Favorite.
Anyways, I think again, like obviously following that player rarity distribution is really smart and I think necessary. Um, at first, when I read this, I thought 1.5 Sol was a little expensive. And then I was talking in chat with, I think it was Smup and probably B Town and W Jar, or whatever however I'm supposed to pronounce
Was there war?
it. Yeah.
Please tell us if you're listening to the pod or watching. Please tell us how to pronounce your name.
I'll just ask him tomorrow. But some of the normal chatters in the Discord, and they pointed out that, like, a 7-player pack right now, they're going for like 28 soul.
Mhm.
And um, I guess the thought process is obviously the rarity within a 7-player is different. You're more likely to get, one of those 1% pull legendaries in a player than a single player, but that makes the 1.5 soul per player seem cheap. And I like that. The one thing I was a little surprised on, and honestly slightly bummed out, is that, if they're selling a 1 player for 1.5, I thought maybe there would be the possibility of, like, being able to buy 2 players for 2.95 or something, like,
Sure.
not a huge discount, but a little discount. Aside from that, I'm obviously going to be buying a few players. I don't know how many yet. We'll see how much soul I have when that's coming, but I don't know if it was Charles or someone in chat did respond to me yesterday and said that there will be ample warning, so
Good.
that it won't be like hey, all of a sudden the players are available. Um, and knowing my luck with that, like, rarity distribution breakdown, I'll buy 4 and they'll all be like prospect players or something. So we'll see what happens, but I am excited for it. And obviously they've been talking about this. They talked about it on our stream like twice, on other streams and in chat. So this has been a long time coming, and I'm very excited for it.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. I'm very excited for it too. Great for accessibility. Um, and yeah, I like the comparison of the player pack, making the 1.5 seem a little cheaper.
Yeah.
Can't wait to buy all underdogs. Game updates. So some very big game updates. The tiebreaker has changed. It is no longer what was it? It was total points. It is now point differential, which I think is very interesting. It's still kind of weird for me to look at that and see like 13 or 5 next to the games, but I like the way that's done. I think that's a much better system.
Yeah. Makes sense. And simple.
Yeah, very, very to the point.
Yeah.
And then we have an end of season tournament and ratings point reset reminder.
Yeah.
We want to remind everyone that there will be a new exciting milestone to play for the second half of season 0, the end of the season tournament, with cash rewards from the season 0 rewards treasury. More details in coming weeks. And then, as you mentioned earlier, the rating points reset to a fixed level based on each team's performance during the first half of the season. Yeah. Celebrate the achievement so far. Competitive league teams will receive a dimes bonus based on their success during the first half of the season through week 15. And they have a link to the details of that.
Yeah, that'll be fun content to stream. Hopefully we'll be asked to do some streaming for that again.
Yeah.
And I like that it's tournaments for the top teams. I think it's smart to do that versus like another all-star thing. But I'm sure there will be ways to get the community involved there.
And finally, this is one of my favorite updates.
Yeah.
Patch notes, version 0.04. Improvements to perimeter, offense, and defense. We're making changes that impact perimeter defenders, pure shooters, 3-and-D wings, stretch bigs, and shooting playmakers. After this update, we're not anticipating any more meta changes or balance updates for the remainder of the season unless there's a need for a hotfix. So perimeter defenders will now contest passes. First half season 0 defensive guards were centered around trying to shut down outside shooting. This adjustment, they're now going to be focused more on passing and steals. So I think that's a pretty exciting change. I always feel like defensive guards are the like bottom of the barrel play style that I always see on the market for super cheap. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. I'm personally not going to jump into anything yet with them. I don't know.
Sure.
Um, I kind of want to see how the stats kind of pan out.
I have two that I
Okay.
don't often play,
Yeah.
but I bought because one of them averages, I think, like close to 10 points,
Wow.
and had a really good like effect on the other on his matchups that I was seeing. And like when I looked at him, the 10 previous games, and then the other one had very low points, but again was like holding all of his opponents to like half of their average. So I'm excited to kind of like mark the averages and then start playing them and see if it changes at all.
Yeah. Definitely have to update that on the stream for sure, and what you're seeing there.
Yeah.
Individual or further updates we have on the individual playstyles. Pure shooters will play their strength better by taking more 3-point shots and fewer inside mid-range shots.
Yep.
3-and-D wings will see further improvements to their efficiency and shot selection, taking more 3-pointers like the namesake suggests.
Mm-hmm.
No additional changes on their defense abilities this time around. Stretch bigs are receiving a slight decrease to their 3-point efficiency. Previously, this playstyle has been difficult to counter, and this decrease should make the performance a bit more in line with GM expectations. Nice.
Yeah.
And shooting playmakers will see a slight increase in playmaking. I love to hear that. And a slight decrease in shooting efficiency. Thus far, shooting playmakers have been outperforming their pure shooter counterparts in all aspects of the game, and this change should allow them to live up to their playmaker name.
Yeah, I liked all of these, like I like the spell out of how they're changed, instead of just being like, oh, we changed this one and this one and this one. The one thing I was a little surprised about was 3-and-D having no changes to their defensive abilities. But I guess if they're going to be scoring more and their defensive stats stay the same, that will in turn theoretically and hypothetically give them a higher point differential versus like what they're allowing and scoring. So that'll be an interesting update to watch. Stretch bigs getting slightly nerfed is interesting. I don't have any stretch bigs, but I was kind of looking for one, and now I'm thinking maybe I'll focus on other archetypes.
Sure.
And I'm excited to see what pure shooters do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fun tracking this in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Be curious to see, chat. Are you anticipating any lineup changes for your team? What does that look like? Speaking of teams, speaking of prospects, Prospect and I have a new segment for you tonight, kind of untitled at this time, but we wanted to walk you through the process of creating a team and what that looks like.
And shout out to Saul Berenson, because this was his idea and it was super smart. So there you go. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Saul Berenson. So we created a team. Team name will be changing. They will be called the Stream Team.
Yes.
And we wanted to basically show you, chat, and our listeners that what this process looks like in terms of starting with a prospect team. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, it's tough.
And so you don't need a crypto wallet. Just need to go to is it play dot I have the it's play.vbagame.com, I believe. And then I'm bouncing you all over the place. Try not to get motion sick here. Once you log in with a email address and password, again, don't need a crypto wallet. You have the option of connecting a Solana wallet. You don't have to do that. We skipped it. And then after that, you will be able to choose one of the avatars below, a color for your team name, and an acronym, 2 characters required. Agree to the terms, decide if you want to receive emails, hit continue. And then you'll be taken to the next screen. This is your prospect pack. So chat, we have not opened this. Yeah, we are opening this live right now. Go ahead, prospect.
I just want to say before we open this that previous screen of the connect with Solana wallet and skip it if you have no players. If you have a Phantom wallet set up, it is extremely easy to set up. And if you intend on eventually buying um, an actual player, not just the prospects, then at some point you'll want to do that connect, and it might be smart to just do it right away. But for the sake of this segment and specifically showing how easy it is to join and get involved and test out the game with one of these prospects packs, we skipped that step, and who knows, maybe we'll do that eventually. But um, check out how sick this opening pack animation is.
Here we go, chat. The prospect pack is about to be opened. Let's go.
It's awesome, and the music is cool. And I never opened a pack before. So this was like really exciting to me. I loved it.
This team. This team. All right, so
this is good.
We don't get a chance to name the players of the prospects. I don't know if we can change them or not, but we have L. Rogan. I'm probably butchering all of these. Point guard, pass first guard. Chef's kiss. Couldn't be happier. I'm a sucker for a good pass first guard. So excited for that. Then we have R. Feeney. I like to think this is Mr. Feeney's grandson, possibly, from Boy Meets World. Shooting guard and scoring guard. About to drop some buckets.
Yeah.
Followed by M. Hilbert. Maybe a cousin of James Hilbert. Small forward, 3-and-D wing, an archetype playstyle we just talked about. Super exciting. Yeah. Then we have our Trump, a power forward, versatile forward. L. Larkin, a post-scoring big center, and then a dual position K. Doherty.
Yeah.
Shooting guard and small forward.
This is good.
Pure shooter.
This is a solid lineup of archetypes.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. All right, so we're going to go on to the next step. We are going to set our starting lineup. So yeah, confirmed you can't change the player names of prospect players. You can of other players. So we only have one option for point guard. So you just click on that position. You'll see the brackets go to the side. And then you can select the player you would like to place there. So now for
drag and drop now too.
Oh, it is. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that was a recent update, which is, the little things in life are nice sometimes.
They are. I appreciate this.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like this is the lineup. Do we want the 3-and-D wing at small forward? Do we want Doherty there? Do we want Doherty to go to shooting guard?
So hear me out. Yeah. I think right now we've got the 3-and-D is out. We've got the versatile forward in there. I think we leave it as is right now.
Okay.
I was gonna say although, do we want to see what that 3-and-D can do because that update?
I'm kind of tempted.
Yeah.
Maybe let's do it. Chat, should we do it? Chat, do you want to see the 3-and-D in the lineup or not? Let us know. Smup in the house. Welcome back, Smup. Says the jam.
Yeah, the jam for that pack open is incredible. Jason Wright has a good point for those who are listening and who are new, who are interested in the game. You can play players out of position. So if you have, L. Larkin on our team is a center, post scoring big, we can play him at power forward, and it might be a very slight decrease in skill. And then if we play him at small forward, shooting guard, and then point guard, obviously the further away you get from their noted position, the worse they'll get. And that goes for the dual positions as well. It looks like chat wants 3-and-D in the lineup though. So
all right, chat, this is for you.
Yeah, let's throw him in there.
So we've got Hilbert in.
Yeah. So
and then do we want to make any other changes now? Because we have Doherty on the bench, could replace Feeney at shooting guard. So post
Shooting
or
guard.
scoring guard or pure shooter at scoring guard. What do we want? Or shooting guard, sorry.
I think the pure shooter we want in there.
I'm with you on that. I agree with that play.
Start off and just guns blazing.
Yeah. Shooter's going to shoot. Shooting guard.
Shooter's going to shoot.
All right.
I also just want to say real quick, like the art on these is so cool. I was so hyped when I saw this. I love the background of these cards and like the shadowy, like mysterious look of them. I haven't quite figured out what the colors mean, if they mean anything, but big fan of the art.
I think it looks really nice. Very well done. I like the art of this project all around. Yeah. We got further support in chat from Sol Berenson to play the pure shooter.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. All right, so our lineup is set. You'll notice that the current lineup salary is $10,000. Again, if you're not familiar with the game, you have a salary cap of $18,000 in this season, and if you get to legendary elite players, those count more towards your salary cap total. So we can't go over that. We're going to be fine, and it's a way of just kind of limiting and preventing people from having a team of all legendary players. So we're going to hit save. And we can now register for a practice league. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that.
Let's do it. So again, if you register for a practice league, that doesn't count towards placement.
Right? I'm not sure. It did at one point in time, but that might have been a bug.
I think that might have been a bug, and we'll be able to do practice league, and then next week we'll start our placement league. But I guess we'll find out.
Yes,
I'm very excited to see how we do.
Chat, we'll keep you posted. We're currently called the Breadsmith's Bakers. Big shout out to the legend that is Breadsmith. But we felt the stream team might be a little bit better of a name.
Yeah, let's make it the stream team. If you want to do that now, we can. If we want to do it later, we can do that too.
Yeah, and so that's how fast and easy it is to get started in VBA. You don't need any sort of investment if you want to experience the game, see what it's about. You don't need a crypto wallet. You can just play. And, I wouldn't be overly concerned of you're just going to get destroyed by playing. You're going to be placed in a league of somewhat similar competitors. I think they do a nice job with their elo and balancing. So I wouldn't be too, disheartened. You might not jump up to the competitive league, but that's okay. You can still win and still have fun.
Love it.
All right. What do you say we go to our next segment, the game of the week?
Let's do it.
All right. So this game of the week is game ID number 92888. And again, you're talking earlier about some of these different graphics and animations.
Yep.
This is a great example. This screen has changed. You got the fun background moving back and forth. You've got the team name, their logo, the lineup with their rarities, position, and their play style. Again, the choice to relive or be the result.
Want to drop that link in chat?
Absolutely. Thank you for that reminder.
Absolutely. Got you.
All right. So chat, there is the link. So with this game, we'll go ahead. We'll just jump right in and view the results. Games are played out in kind of like an ESPN Gamecast style. So you'll see that there are, various updates here. This game stood out to me because, Miller Time was rated in the competitive league. And this is an incredibly low scoring game. What are your thoughts on this one?
I won't lie. I know we share stream notes before stream, but I did not look at this game yet.
Okay.
This is my first time seeing it. Those are some low scores. That's pretty low.
All right, I'll drop some of my observations here. So Lily Gang, which is just a fun name.
I've played Lily Gang. They're a good team.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this was a little bit more of a defensive lineup. Bill Walls is a versatile forward that was versatile everywhere,
yes,
except shooting. And then the power forward was a post scoring big, really struggled. 4 of 21. As you can see right here, 3 of 5 from free throws, 22 rebounds though. And overall, it's just some notes, 1 of 8 from 3, but 60 rebounds. This team was a rebounding machine. I haven't seen many games with rebounds that high. Looking at Miller time, small forward really struggled a bit against the opponent's versatile forward. So, 4 of 19, 4 of 12 from 3, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 1 turnover. Moses Stanley, the power forward, didn't do well against the post-scoring big, going 0 of 8.
Yeah, that's not good.
0 of 2 from 3 and 2 of 2 from the line with 8 rebounds and 3 turnovers.
Sheesh.
And kind of my final note on Miller time was that there were 8 assists the whole game.
Yeah.
So Miller time sounds like you got a team of ball hogs here. No one's wanting to pass the ball. But yeah, very low scoring game. Yeah. 56 Lily Gang, 42 to Miller time. And a lot of rating points gained for Lily Gang. 14 points gained. That's pretty big.
Very defensive game, which makes sense looking at all the archetypes that were played. But even if you look at like the blocks, 7 blocks, 8 blocks, steals wasn't too bad. But assists on both teams was very low. Rebounds was pretty high, which maybe that's, defensive. Yeah, interesting game. Let me look at the game flow real quick.
I was just about to click over that. Pretty close for most of the first, and then that gap just held throughout.
Yeah. Love to see it. Interesting game. Look at the MVP. 11 points, 22 rebounds.
Wow.
That's a player. Who is that? Caleb?
Caleb Swanigan?
22 rebounds, and he averages, it's not loading for me. He averages 14.2 rebounds.
Wow.
But looks like he's on a new team for 9 games now. All the averages are pretty decent. Yeah, it's a good player.
Special dual position post scoring big.
Yeah.
Speaking of players, let's jump into our next segment, free agent finds. Again, chat, this is not any sort of financial advice. Make decisions based off of what makes sense for you in your current situation. But we try and identify players that we think could be good value that isn't necessarily financial value, but maybe we like a stat or two that a certain player will have. So this week for free agent finds, my pick, I'm really excited about. In the spirit of breadsmith and baking, this is some good dough right here. And by that I mean it's a low season of experience. So player is Sunny Day.
Okay.
It is a dual position. So center, power forward, special rarity, fundamental big with 1 season of experience. Has played 117 games, averaging 20 points, 53% shooter, just under 30% from 3. And if we scroll over, free throw at 63%, 13 rebounds, just under 1 assist, 2 blocks, just under 1 steal, just under 3 personal fouls, and just under 3 turnovers per game. Price on that is 2 Solana. And what I liked about this player is they weren't too much of a ball hog. Maybe I was just stuck in that mind frame from last time. Sure. And I'll drop the link in chat if anyone is interested. Yeah, again, player ID 2285. But, puts up good points for the position. Pretty good true shooting percent, above average.
Yep.
And pretty good defensive rebound, slightly above average. Personal fouls at the power forward position, averaging about half less than the position. So interesting kind of play there. And blocks way above average and steals above average. So you're going to get a player that you can hold on to for a while with 1 season of experience. I don't feel, given the current market today, that the price is horrible. But again, not financial advice. Do what makes sense for you, your team, your budget. But yeah, I thought the player was kind of exciting.
Yeah, I actually thought that this player was so exciting that I also had him as my free agent find for the week.
No way!
It took us, what is it,
9 episodes. We did it.
9 episodes to finally choose the same one.
Yeah, we don't talk about this beforehand at all.
Yeah, but I do have a backup for tonight.
Okay, well, this is awesome. I can't believe we finally did it.
Yeah, but I really liked this player. And another thing, I don't think you said it was he's, oh, you did say it, but yeah, that 1 season of experience is so valuable. It doesn't make the biggest difference right now.
Right.
But one day it will, and that is very, very valuable. But yeah, I love the stats, and it's a special, dual position. You could probably get away with playing him at small forward. Yeah, I like this buy. This is a good buy. We'll see, I might scoop him.
Watch out, chat.
Yeah, and then any other notes on this guy, or you want to move on to mine?
No, let's go on to your backup. I'm still kind of shook by the fact that we picked the same person.
I'm glad I came with a backup, and I came with a backup because one of the newer players and newer Discord chat members, Fud Guru, who I think might still be here, made a comment in the Discord chat saying, basically that they joined because of the prospect packs, which is all the free players, and they are most likely going to buy a single player. And that single player, they said, I took it as a challenge to find someone at 1 soul or under.
Okay.
So my player I found 2. I've been going back and forth on them. I think I'm settled on ID number 5634, who is named Rue Ball, which is so smart. Such a good name.
I love it. I love it.
A single nice fight guru is back. Welcome. This is for you. So I'm glad you're here. So this player is listed at 1 soul. Is a post scoring big, also with 1 season, I should say, of experience, which, again, is valuable. Let me see career averages. He's got 22 points, 22.2, which is like just slightly under the average, like a decimal under the average for point scoring bigs. Field goal percent. Let's see, where is that on here? Same with field goal percent and 3-point percent. Rebounds 13.1. Assists, a single assist, fine. Blocks 1.5. Personal fouls at 2.4 is under the average slightly. Which is good, and turnovers at 4 is slightly above. But looking at this guy, to me, I would say he's average to slightly above average. You can look at some of the past teams he's been on, and there is definitely some fluctuation in the stats. And as we all know, a GM in a lineup can make a big difference here.
Yep.
But coming in at 1 soul with 1 season of experience, as a post scoring big, I thought this was a good buy. I compared it to all the other post scoring bigs under a soul, and to me, it looked like the best option. Again, the market is dry right now. There's not a lot of options, but again, for me, if I was building a team with all the knowledge I have right now, the first three archetypes I would target um, for my team would be either a pass first guard, a playmaking big, and then probably a post scoring big. The pass first and the playmaking big is so that you get those assists on there. And the post scoring big for me is just because I love having a good big man on my team. And that's where we are.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I like how we're starting to gravitate towards our favorite play styles and what
Yeah.
we like, and I think it's fun and it makes the game fun. And there's no single best combination necessarily out there.
Yeah.
Um, which I think is another way that this game is very approachable.
Definitely.
So all right, chat. We're gonna move on to our next segment. Final two segments of the night. Last one being team talk. So if you have any questions for us about, getting into VBA, questions about, lineups, your team, any, future questions, please feel free to drop those in chat. But before we do that, we're going to do a little around the horn because I am so happy you reminded me of this, but we got to show off something that I think is really cool. You just did, for those of you that don't know, Prospect is an incredible designer. He just did some design work for Charles, for the Charles Barkies. And we're going to take a look at some of these VBA designs that you created.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take a look at these designs in around the horn. So first we have you do the talking here. I won't be able to do this justice.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been doing this for a little while, and if anybody is interested in these, shoot me a DM. It comes with like basically a full branded suite for your Twitter profile, including like the banner, the profile picture, and then graphics like this for you to use however you want. I did some 3D jerseys, some Twitter banners like this, and then the player mock-ups, and I believe that player was Charles Dew, which is his favorite player. Um, and the point for this is like straight up just to, give you some ownership and some pride in your team. Um, uh, the 3D jerseys are just they're fun. I think Charles told me he wanted it based on and to have the colors of the retro Suns jerseys.
Love it.
So the colors came from. He wanted a dog for Charles Barkey. And that's where we're at. And it was just like it's a fun thing for me to do, and then people get like cool what I think is cool products out of it. You get the logo and a full transparent background. Make t-shirts or whatever you want to with it. Once I give it to you, it's yours. I don't care what you do with it. Yeah, it was cool. And doing these made me like, I have a list right now. I got to do John Lee's. He's been waiting for a while on his. I've just been super busy lately. But doing these made me excited. And I ended up putting my team jersey in my Twitter profile, in my banner, which I usually don't do. I like to like not associate my Twitter branding with like a single project that I'm involved in. But I've been having so much fun with VBA and I love my jerseys that I was like, I'm just going to go for it. That's where we're at. It was fun to make these, and I think he liked them. Hopefully, chat likes them too.
Yeah, these are awesome. I love the detail. Even the stitching is, colored. You've got the VBA logo down here, which is sick. Yeah. And just it has that mesh texture look to it, which I think is awesome. I love this. I think you did a nice job. I like the logo on the top of the card. He's holding the ball, covering it, but you still see behind. Very good attention to detail. It's fun. Great example of a Twitter banner here. I think this is pretty sweet. So chat, yes, please hit up Prospect. You can find them at prospect_hodl.
Yep.
They're beautiful. Well done, man. I think those are really cool.
Appreciate it. Not to switch gears completely, but looking in chat, looks like Fud Guru ended up buying RuPaul, who's that one Soul player I just posted. I love it. Good luck with him. I hope he turns out well. We will certainly be keeping an eye on him. We have done this before when someone in chat buys one of the free agent funds, we'll do an update a week later. So if you need help with him in your lineups, just shoot one of us a message and good luck. And then to answer Rhino Killam, uh, yes, this is a slightly new. It's been out for a little while, but it is evolving. Basketball NFT project on the Solana blockchain, where you are the GM of a basketball team.
If you're interested, Rhino, there's the link right there.
Yeah.
And it is currently, they just released a new game mode. We went over this in the beginning of stream, where it is free. You don't need a Solana wallet. You don't need to buy anything. You're going to get all you need is an email and a password. You create an account super quick, pick your team name, pick some colors, and you get a pack of 6 players. You set a lineup, enter a practice league, then eventually, if you choose to keep playing, you'll be placed into another league. Now, these players you get are not NFTs. So if you want to start earning rewards, which are called dimes, you need to have a wallet and you need to have an NFT player. So again, the players you get for free are called prospect players. I guess in the tier of things, it goes prospect, underdog, special, rare, elite, legendary. I believe I got that order right.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to perform super well, but that doesn't mean you can't win a game. They have a really nice elo system. You'll play against other teams that should perform similar to you once you get placed. So we got B-Town in chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, B-Town. I appreciate the accolades, or the compliment there. By the way, one of my teams got its ass kicked by Cream City Cosmos. That team are right there, which I'm currently in the office of. Recently, these dudes know their stuff. B-Town, it does too. B-Town also has a show called Inside the VBA, and highly recommend that. Great strategy, great playstyle discussions, great news updates. So please give B-Town a follow. Click his name in chat. Drop him a follow. Great community member. Very active. So yeah, go ahead.
It looks like we got another question in chat from Rhino Killam. Yeah, they're simulated. They're usually like 6 to 8 minutes, 6 to 9 minutes, I think. Yeah, Error is saying 8 minutes. They're simulated, similar to how a basketball game on ESPN is shown on the Gamecast. If you are interested in tonight's stream or any of our other streams, we have all of our episodes recorded as podcasts, some with video. And I believe right after this stream ends, this episode will be available for video playback on MJ's Twitch channel, so you can check it out there. And MJ, no timeouts, no subs. You choose your lineup, and that's it for the game. I think MJ, you had dropped in a game before.
I can drop in the game of the week.
Yeah,
just to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like, and you want to hit relive game, and you can kind of see how the game cast is shown. Rhino, great suggestion there, prospect.
Answering B-Town in chat.
Yeah. So yeah, B-Town, we did talk about some of those recent updates. Excited. I think it's a great overall balance. I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the numbers performance behind it. Could be completely anecdotal, but much like our game of the week tonight, I'm seeing a lot of lower scoring games.
Yeah.
So, it's exciting. It adds to the discovery, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. B-Town, we also opened our pack of prospects. We made a team as Berenson suggested. So I think that would be a recurring segment on the show from now on.
Yeah, chat, definitely follow along. We'll be updating you on the performance of that team week over week. The stream team.
That's where we're at.
All right. And Rhino, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to pop it in the Discord. You'll see I'm not in many Discords often. But I know Prospect's in there, B Town's in there, Smup is in there. The community's fantastic, but you can also feel free to DM either of us with any questions. Happy to help. B Town says people are learning how to effectively use defensive playstyles. Yeah, nice. I agree. I think this adds a whole nother layer of balance to things, B Town. So yeah, Rhino, please feel free to reach out anytime. Great community. Price range to start a team. Well, again, you can start for free. I've invested, I believe, so far 36 Solana into 2 teams, and one of them, and plus sold some, bought some, sold some. I believe the current going is maybe 13 Solana, 15 Solana for my main team, I think was the price that I paid. Could be off on that, but it's around there. You can get started for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I think I would say, I think when I got started, I built a 5-player team on like just around 8 Solana. You can definitely get started for less than that, but not too
low. Thank you for the shout out, Jason Wright.
Good point. Is that data? I wonder if that would be if we'll have that data for prospects.
Yeah, so I'll have to see what the API is showing. But yeah, so Jason Wright asked, could a prospect player data be included? It could, but they're not transferable. So I don't know what that looks like, but maybe, yeah, if it's there, the way my poll's set up, it would or should pull them. So we shall see. And yeah, B-Town adds with 3 to 4 soul, you could buy a team that can be an intermediate to low competitive if you do your homework.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up another episode for tonight. Big thank you again to everyone that showed up in stream tonight. Shout out to our podcast listeners from not only the US, but also Australia, Vietnam, and Latvia. And you can subscribe going to anchor.fm/VBA-live. And you can find the podcast on any podcast platform, whether that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, or Pocket Casts. So I'm MJ. Prospect. Where can they find you?
Find me in the Discord or on Twitter at prospect_hodl, however you want to pronounce it.